Rockaways Productions presents The Casey Waters Show, Episode 510, My Big Toe, by Thomas Campbell, Part 4. Hello, I'm your host, Casey Waters. Today, I will continue with My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. Here, the author analyzes the nature of consciousness, quantum physics, and time and space and reality itself. Today's show will feature background footage from Strawberry Gap Trail. Strawberry Gap Trail is located in Girton, North Carolina. To get there from Asheville, take Highway 74A east. Go past Fairview. When you go across Hickory Nut Gap and cross into Henderson County, a short distance after that, perhaps a couple hundred yards or so, take a right into the parking area. On Strawberry Gap Trail, I made it to the nice overlook of Fairview and even a little beyond. The section I did hike was in decent shape, with only a few downed trees from Tropical Storm Helene. Recovery efforts continue, and things are slowly improving, but there is still much work to be done, and rebuilding has barely begun. So now, let's continue with My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. From the viewpoint of digital mind space, all realities, except the larger consciousness system we call AUM, could be described as virtual realities. The computer itself is a fundamental reality, while the simulations running within it constitute virtual realities. From the viewpoint of the consciousness evolution fractal ecosystem, the computer and its subsets and pieces from a vast interconnected interdependent system. From the first viewpoint, we are a product or result of the computer. In the second, we are an integral part of the computer. Because AUM represents all that is, both viewpoints are compatible. Now, let's go to page 392 of My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. Forget what you have been told. AUM is not in the role of your father or mother, and you are not in the role of a child. AUM is not responsible for raising you, only for giving you the opportunity and responsibility to raise yourself. It is not AUM's job to take care of you, to force you to learn and grow and keep you out of trouble, or to make you feel comfy when things get tough. Nevertheless, AUM cares about, loves, and appreciates all because that is fundamental, because that is the fundamental property of low entropy consciousness. But don't take that too personally. Now, let's go to page 393. The laws and rules that are instituted by AUM and administered by the big cheese, the condition of the experiment, the culture of NPMRN. Provide order and protection for you in NPMRN. Our system, OS, is designed to give you maximum opportunity to succeed under the given conditions. You can sometimes, though it is rare, because cross pollination is discouraged, choose an alternate, not OS, reality system, one of the PMRK within NPMRN, or something from one of the other NPMRN, within which to evolve your consciousness. Everything you need for success is laid at your feet. All the help you could profitably use is there for you, but you have to make the choices. You have to execute your intent. The AUM consciousness love being scientist thing demonstrates its compassion, love, and caring by giving you every opportunity to grow in the direction of your choice. Now, let's go to page 399 and continuing on to page 400 of My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. We, the creations of AUM, are the source of its joy and sadness. We evolve our individuated piece of basic consciousness by lowering its entropy and increasing its quality. As we drop our ego delusions, we become more AUM like, an embodiment of love and caring. This is our goal, our purpose. We began this trip as a chunk of individuated digital consciousness with enough complexity, memory, and processing capability to evolve ourselves from a high entropy, relatively dim awareness to a low entropy, brilliant embodiment of love. In the simplest terms, we are to follow in the evolutionary footsteps of AUO-AUM. To accomplish this, we have been given two attributes. First, we are individuated into existence, a tiny snippet of the AUM hologram, an interactive subroutine or defined object running in its own piece of mind space within TBC, a part of the big picture consciousness evolution fractal that contains the pattern of the whole. Second, we are given free will so that evolution growth is possible. The evolution of our personal fragment of consciousness is directly and exclusively based on the individual choices we make. We exist, operate, interact, and individually evolve. Modify ourselves to occupy lower entropy states, all within the immense digital mind that is consciousness. Fundamentally, we are consciousness. The evolution of our individuated unit of consciousness is the point of our existence. This is how the AUM, digital mind thing, consciousness organism, survives and grows. This is how the fundamental consciousness energy ecosystem evolves, lowers its entropy, and avoids stagnation, regression, increasing entropy, and dissolution, death. The fundamental process requires evolving systems to, in the long run, either grow or die, trying to remain marginally viable, balanced in the astable state between the two is a poor strategy. The eventual price of not continually expending effort to reduce the average entropy within a consciousness system is to allow the average entropy of the system to increase, thus ensuring eventual disintegration. You are part of such a consciousness system. You are part of its strategy to survive through continuing growth and evolution. You are it. It is you. All that is of the one consciousness organism, one energetic, self aware ecosystem. All live or die, succeed or fail together. Now, let's go to page 403 of My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. We humans are part of several ecosystems that sustain us. We must be good citizens and develop and maintain a long-term win-win relationship with each. As aware, bright, sentient entities, either physical or non-physical, consciousness is the largest and most fundamental sustaining system within the capacity of our awareness. Consciousness is the primary ecosystem to which we belong. NPMRN is our biome. OS is our community. PMR is our niche. And Earth is our habitat. Now, let's go to page 404 of My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. AUM, or Absolute Unbounded Manifold, needs us as part of its being for multiple purposes, just as you need your circulatory system for multiple purposes. As we are driven to explore ourselves, AUM is driven to explore and understand consciousness, its continued growth, evolution, and survival depends on it. We should find this particularly easy to understand. Our bodies, medicine, how we interact with each other, the environment, and the physical universe have always been the focal point and primary motivation of our science. We first want to and need to know about us. The AUM thing wants to and needs to know about consciousness. Now, let's go to page 427 and continuing on to page 428. The traditional little physical picture model of reality creates as many big picture paradoxes and problems as it offers little picture solutions. By comparison, a deterministic little physical picture model of reality creates additional big picture paradoxes and problems while offering few, if any, new solutions. These paradoxes and problems are traditionally dealt with by stretching old belief systems and establishing new ones. As always, beliefs are used to ease the anxiety of ignorance and make our knowledge seem more complete than it is. The little physical picture model of reality has been unable to produce a little dough that unifies our understanding of the space time rule set that defines PMR causality, much less produce a satisfactory big dough that not only fully explains little picture space time causality, but also explains the greater human experience as well. Now, let's go to page 458 of My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. Good objective scientific protocol requires the experimenters to remove all possible uncertainty, thus interfering with and limiting the side effect being studied. Where some uncertainty is allowed, better results from an insider's viewpoint are produced. From an outsider's point of view, only less credible results are produced. There are always many more outsiders than insiders. Here, insiders are the experimenters and their subjects. Everyone else is an outsider. Remote viewers, for example, cannot produce perfect high resolution photographs for their experimenters. There is always some uncertainty, and usually, over an in depth set of experiments, at least some inconsistency. Additional uncertainty grows quickly in the minds of individuals who are not personally in total control of the experimental protocols. It grows more quickly in the minds of those who are not physically witnessing the paranormal event. They read about it, hear about it, or see it on TV. How much uncertainty is necessary? Only enough to ensure that the vast majority of PMR citizens will not have their cherished delusions forcibly perturbed to a significant degree. Now, let's go to page 465. And continuing on to page 466. It seems that whenever we humans are confronted by our ignorance in a grand manner that cannot be denied, we tend to extrapolate a super stretched version of our old paradigms into an obvious solution that is supportive of the status quo. For a less obvious but still troubling ignorance, we often turn to spooky science or faith-based solutions, or simply deny that the data which demonstrate our ignorance are real. Such circular belief-based logic creates its own intellectual whirlpool. Today, we are greatly amused by the idea of angels moving the heavenly bodies around. I mean, really, how could those people be so stupid? Actually, They were not stupid at all. They had about the same mental capacity that we have. They merely covered over their ignorance with theories that were in consonance with their personal, scientific, religious, and cultural beliefs, exactly as we do. Before feeling too smug about the silliness of planet toading angels, you should know that modern science and philosophy use the exact same devices with the exact same zeal to deal with today's challenges to the core belief systems of our culture. Many years from now, our present belief limited science, philosophy, and theology will provide future generations with good cause to shake their heads and snicker with astonished amusement. I mean, really, how could those people be so stupid? Inevitably, our present notions of science and significance are one day going to look incredibly silly, perhaps within this century. It is one of our greatest conceits to believe that we could not possibly be that ignorant and be that out of touch with reality. We are, after all, exceptionally smart and advanced, you know. Now, let's go to page 467, continuing on to page 468. There is no point in demonstrating psi effects. The gee whiz effect exhibited by those in direct participation who do not invent a way to discount or deny the experience is useless. The same is more or less true of natural psi experiences such as the precognitive dreams or telepathic communications that hundreds of millions of people have experienced. Generally, these experiences lead nowhere and are not particularly important in PMR or physical matter reality. However, they often serve as a catalyst to pry open a mind far enough for it to glimpse a larger reality or light a fire of inquisitiveness and can be immensely valuable to an individual ready to take the next step. An individual not ready to take the next step does not usually have these experiences. Where is the value in causing people to have experiences that they are not ready to profit from? Doing so generally causes more stress and confusion than enlightenment, and in the end, usually reduces the credibility of big truth rather than enhancing it. Real evolutionary progress, real improvement in your quality of consciousness must come from the inside out. Later on page 468, and continuing on to page 469. How is your progress and sanity to be judged if you follow the warrior's path of knowledge? Pragmatically and objectively, by looking at the results. Check to see if your knowledge and psi experiences, teleporting, healing, traveling, remote viewing, or communicating telepathically with either physical or non-physical beings are meaningful and significant in the big picture to yourself and to others. Determine if your understanding of the big picture produces consistent, measurable results in terms of the quality of your consciousness and the depth of your perception of the larger reality, including the physical. Your spiritual growth and your ability to help others grow spiritually should be obvious to and measurable by you and others. If not, what you are experiencing is delusional. You will unquestionably and unambiguously know if you are truly knowledgeable, kind, humble, compassionate, helpful, balanced, and focused on what you can contribute to others. If you are wise, understanding, considerate, insightful, thoughtful, and loving, you and everybody else will know that you are not insane. A highly evolved individual sticks out from the crowd like an elephant in a pea patch. These individuals are beloved and held in highest esteem by all who meets them. They have a gentle and highly effective power which is fearless. Now, let's go to page 479 of My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. NPMR subset N is not a different place separate from PMR. It is continuous, integrated, and one with PMR. PMR is a dependent subset of NPMR subset N, and it exists in, with, and by NPMR subset N. All beings in NPMR subset N are not space and time constrained. Time and space are local constructs within PMR and are direct artifacts of the space-time rule set. Every being in our PMR.
Casey Waters Show. Producer, Casey Waters. Graphic editing, Judson Laird. Please note our new email address, CaseyWaters2 at CaseyWaters.com.